Hello and welcome back to Wario Land 3, and today we're going to be starting the Pool of Rain, which has some interesting visuals like this rock here that we'll see what that's for later. But also these little platforms, these pegs, which you may recognise as a fairly standard type of platform in platformers. We're able to guess the gimmick from how it's laid out. Yep, one of those things where they're kind of seesaw platforms where you just knock the pegs down and other pegs go up, so you have to kind of figure out how to reach the next set of platforms. But of course, if we fall into the water here, we can't swim. So we have to painstakingly make our way back to the left of each section to start it up again. And yeah, like, never overestimate your jump like that because you can't really easily get back. You can try and dash jump, but it's unreliable. This time I have to remember to switch around the platforms. And also be careful of those spiky guys too. Any spiky guys be careful of. And of course there's a very suspicious looking platform there. It seems a little overly obvious. You may be able to guess why that is. Yeah, the dash jump's always quite good for getting a little extra distance. But yeah, this very mysterious platform is just the silver key. It's a fairly straightforward level with how it's laid out. You just need to follow the platforms to the end, basically, because there's not really much else we can do in this level right now. Yeah, I can't drop that from here, because it's already at its maximum height. Well, maximum depth, I mean. Certain platforms can only go so low. Like, that's also the maximum depth as well, right at the edge of the screen there. This is perhaps the most complicated one, because of course it's the last one. Just need to work out how to get that last one up while staying, while keeping within jumping distance of these small other ones. Yeah, that's frustrating. I almost made that. I just didn't have quite enough height on that dash jump. But luckily the pegs don't reset, so you can just kind of keep trying. We just need a little more height to get to that peg. Still not quite working though. These are quite difficult puzzles to figure out, at least for me. I'm generally quite bad at these types of puzzles. At least I figured out which one moves that one. And there we are. As you can see, some levels are a lot more sprawling, and some levels like this one are much more linear, at least at this stage, where we have very few power-ups. Of course, we did need to do this one because it gives us one of these, a gear. Can't do anything with the gear yet, but that's what the other level's for. So let's head to the town in Chaos. Which is a pretty cool level because unlike the peaceful village, which is a lot of like smaller buildings, this is just a pair of massive skyscrapers. I quite like that. It gives it a fun sort of structure because you've got a very specific kind of building that you're exploring. And so you're just kind of trying to figure out which rooms in this massive skyscraper will lead you to the right keys and the right chests. And there's a lot of ways in as well. There's like a way in on each level almost. And of course, some ways in are actually ways out because we can't get in that way because the windows. And yeah, that's what happens if you get hit by those bears. The polar bears turn to ice. But yeah, we can only really get into a window if it has one of those little blocks right there. There's some windows that are just exits. And this is quite an annoying little room because of those little pink things that you can't easily kill. I don't think you can actually hit them really, they're just kind of there to stagger you and be a pain. But here we see a red key we can't get anywhere near. Yeah, I'm deliberately going into all these rooms that we can't do anything in yet, just to kind of show how well this level is starting to escalate when it comes to showing all the potential places you can eventually end up going. Like here, we actually see our first blue key, which is new. We haven't seen a blue key before. Never been able to. Quite like as well, like how it stacks things as well. Like here we have a very simple blue key and blue chests that are quite easy to see. You just can't get them yet. There's a cute escalation as well, because on the first area of the first set of areas, and yeah, now we're blocked in here, so we have to turn that switch back off. We can't get to that red key from here. But like in the first section of the map, we could only get silver keys at first. And then in the second section of the map, we only started off being able to get blue and red keys, or at least see red keys, but not do anything with them. But in this level, in the third section of the map, when we're in the south, we actually get to see other keys. We actually get to see the blue key now as well, even if we can't reach it yet, which is quite cool. It's a neat little kind of way of constantly raising the stakes for each area, showing more and more puzzles that you just can't quite solve yet. It's a fun way of escalating things, to have each section of the map have an extra key you can see, but can't really do anything with. It's quite fun. Always be careful getting sniped by those polar bears. I also like there's some aspects of these particular levels, of certain types of levels that have things in common as well, like certain levels where only certain enemy types are only found in certain types of levels, or they're found in all those level types. Because this bear will stop getting my way. Yeah, let's quickly hop across, see what we can do over here, if anything. Just to kind of explore the area, really, and show the structure of the level. Like over here, it looks like we can get over here, but nope. This big frog thingy. A different one to one we saw earlier as well, which is grey. In this game that does mean something. The enemies are colour coded as well, so it's not the same as the red frog, it's a more severe frog. So this area is quite interesting too, because now we also have these little donut guys. What's not quite like with this particular part of the building as well, is it's got a specific, almost like a specific theme to it. You'll see what I mean in a few minutes, well in a minute. Because in this part of the room, we have the donut guys. And our silver key finally. You just need to figure out how to get that chest, but also in here, we have the alien guys too, the zombie guys. So this building is basically a microcosm of the peaceful village, which is quite cool. It's kind of cute that they group the enemies in that way. And of course we have to use this to get back out again, because these windows are too high, and these are closed anyway. We need to get over to this window, which is open. But there's also some over here I want to show off as well. Not really anything we can do over there, but it's there. And I had to move that all the way back again because it respawned, so I had to... Yeah, I'm always, again, almost got sniped and thrown right up the building by the polar bear this time, and when we're this high up, we do not want to do that. So we've got the key, so now we just need to get to the chest, which is down that diagonal path we saw, or path, that wire. So we're about to see how to interact with the wire. Here it is, the zip line. And now we have 2 gears. We can activate the lift. Which means now... Oh wait, my brain remembered it wrong. We weren't in the third area, it was in the second area, sorry about that. Remember how many scene transitions we had to get to this area. This is the south area, the grasslands. And this area is a little annoying, because as you can probably guess from this, a lot of this grass is a trap, leading straight to a puddle. A lot of these little zappy guys too. This level can be kind of a pain if you don't know what you're doing. Especially if you don't know to look out for certain enemy types. Like this guy. These birds are a huge pain. Because when you're over here, you can even get the red key really quick, which is nice. But yeah, these birds are a huge pain, because if they hit you, they give you one of the more annoying stats effects in the game. At least in this particular level, it's a huge pain. And they do a pretty good job as well with like matching up whichever enemies will give the most annoying stats effect for the level you're in. Like this one's got all the big holes in the ground, so you don't want to be hit by these birds. We will see what they do later. But for now, just know the bad news. We also have a few entrances we can enter though. Like this is clearly something This is clearly an exit. There's not really much we can do down here. You can probably guess what it's an exit from as well. Whoops. Yeah, these holes were annoying to deal with. I like how those birds are laid out though, because when you have both of them together, you can hit them both at once, and that's quite satisfying. So let's see what's in here, shall we? So here we have a boss fight. And of course it immediately kicks us out, but we do know from previous experience that boss fights are basically they guard the chests, but we haven't even got the key yet. We've got a red key, but that's never the first key. First key is always silver, we haven't found that yet. You can probably infer from the logic of the game that that guy's probably guarding a silver chest. So we need to find a silver key, which is here. And now we'll see what these are really for. It's not to protect you from the stats effect. There's something that's quite fun with this game is that so many types will be contextualized based on what you need to be. Like in this case, we need to be Flat Wario in order to make that little jump, and you'll see why. But these little guys will pull us out of Flat Wario, so you have to be very careful to dodge them. So, the reason Flat Wario is useful here is because they can slip through this little gap. So right, left, but also they don't even need to jump. They can just drift. Which is quite a cute little animation. We just need to get a little bit more height so we can drift straight into the little hole. And now it's time to undo the stats effect. So yeah, in that previous area with these little crane guys, they were actually a godsend because they protected you from the stats effect. But now they undo it so you can't get the key, which is very cute. And yeah, of course I fell down there. And of course I messed up and got hit by those bloody things. And you can probably infer as well, because of the way these game levels are currently structured, there's not really much we can do here except for going for that boss. Because even if you're able to get... And this is what these birds do. They get you all weird and... I think it's like drunk Wario or something like that, but it just kind of makes you stagger all over the place as confused Wario, and that's a huge pain. Because you can very easily stagger through the hole. It's a funny stats effect with fun music, but it's annoying to have to deal with. It's very easy for those birds to catch you out as well. I do quite like how even the music sounds all drunk though, it's a very fun track. Although of course that particular stats effect is never a useful one. Some stats effects are just there to penalise you. Yeah, this worm's a pain, but it doesn't take too long for me to figure out the trick to it. Maybe it was guessed from the quick as this one. Because here what you actually have to do is ram him, and that makes him vulnerable. Well, he's actually vulnerable from the top of the head anyway, but ramming him makes him go down, so you can actually hit him because he's too tall to jump on normally otherwise. And you have to hold the down button as well to do the butt bounce, otherwise it won't count. And quite like the worm kind of makes little grassy patches appear as well. It's very cute, because of course that's what worms do. They make the soil fertile. So of course the worm's death allows grass to grow. And get us to our first of the music boxes that we've been trying to get this entire game so far. We've finally got one of the music boxes, which is nice. That allows us to get to the big bridge. So we're just going to go to the bridge because it's a relatively simple level. And let's do our battle on the big bridge, shall we? Of course there's a key right here. There's a little barrel we can't really do much with. And there's weird black water as well that we just can't see. The main thing with the black water is of course we can't see what's in it, so we can't see like where any doors would be, even if we could ever end up using it. But of course here, it's a traditional Wario style level, rather, we have to jump over these little fish. And it's relatively short as well, because it's just kind of introducing the idea. It's also time for a very interesting little item as well, because of how it affects things. This is of course a magic bean. So let's see what it does, shall we? Three beans grow. One lands at the vast plain. One thing I really like with this as well is each time you upgrade a level in some way by unlocking something like this, it actually shows it on the map in some way, which is a very fun way of reminding the player. So join me next time as we head to those 3 areas and see what that actually does for us. Goodbye. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Patreon as well. Speaking of, thank you to James Rossi for supporting me on Patreon.